Okay, hello and welcome back to an academy. So let's crack NEET PG. Today we'll cover the basics of the Staphylococcus. ठीक है, for the preparation of the NEET 2022 has been started now. So अब अपन start कर देते हैं because general bacteriology तो अब exam से just पहले I covered it. So I will cover it again after some time. ठीक है, एक बार थोड़ा सा we'll cover some systemic bacteriology, the important topics, and that too will start with the Staphylococcus. All right, so the pattern will be same that first I will be telling you the most important MCQs that are being asked from the topic. Retrograde studies that we'll do for every topic. Pehle, I will tell you what are the MCQs that are being asked, and later the theoretical part will be covered according to both for the PG students as well as for the professional examination students who are supposed to get their basics totally clear out. All right. Okay, so as we know that an academy is India's largest learning platform, and you can access both the live sessions and the recorded sessions anywhere and everywhere where you feel so, and that too can analyze your performance in the live T&Ds with the hand raise feature that will help you to actually stand out in the class and to ask your doubts and all, and that to learn with the topmost India's educators for any medical examination, and not all just medical examination. You can learn from the Unacademy, from the topmost educators for every competitive exam. And please do use my code, that is Muskan 10, to enroll into an academy, to subscribe into an academy for any competitive examination. All right, and you can study on the device anywhere and everywhere, specifically benefiting for those students and those who are periphery, because now this pattern is seen after examination, some 1 to 2 months JR-ship. People usually do the JR-ship in the hospitals, mainly those having some problem with the financial issues and all, and that is nothing wrong with that, क्योंकि जब तैयारी करते हैं जब नौकरी के साथ, तो भी equally chance होते हैं selection का. It is just depends upon the person who is putting so much who is putting how much effort into the examination and how much focused he or she is. All right, and even they also have an extra edge with that, क्योंकि उनके पास clinical aspect भी होता है, and आजकल clinical चीजें ही पूछी जाती है. with approx 25,000 MCQs, हमारा टारगेट होता है 50 to 100 MCQ पर डे करने का होना ही चाहिए. और अगर अपन इसको 66 मंथ्स के लिए भी, दैट इज 180 डेज के लिए भी अगर अपन करते हैं, वी विल कवर अप टू 18,000 MCQs for per day 100 MCQs. All right, and at 12 to 15,000 something, that is the target, and we are already having a bunch of MCQs, and I will suggest you to have the retrograde study. पहले उस टॉपिक के क्वेश्चंस देखो और फिर उस टॉपिक को पढ़ो. All right. Soon printed notes will be coming, and uh, printed notes before 11th of September, they were provided with the plus subscriptions, but now they are being provided with the iconic subscription. And in iconic subscriptions, you have prep ladder along with the An Academy, where you get the rapid revision course of the prep ladder, because prep ladder is famous for its rapid revision courses and summarized courses, because the examination pattern is vast, less a vast. Rapid revision course, Q banks, video lectures on the prep ladder, clinical integrated essential with the treasures of and this 2022 dream notes. All right. An academy with well structured live sessions, recorded sessions, Q bank, competitive T&Ds, and comprehensive. All these two best of features of both the institute will be provided to you with the iconic subscription. All right. For subscriptions, it will cost you around something 65,000. Has been a price hike after the examination. Therefore, I was suggesting you before the examination that who are in the college or the internship can opt for the subscription just before the examination, because that was also a benefit of money, in terms of money, because there naturally after examination there's hike a little bit of hike of some amount, and with the iconic it will be around 75,000 with the plus subscription. All right, and you can boost 12-month subscriptions. You get 2 month subscription totally free, and with 24 you get 4 month free, and it is very economical compared to other online platforms. And you can use my code, that is Muskan 10. Okay, So for 1 month, it will cost you around 1 year, it will cost you around 38,250, and for 18 months, 42,750. For 2 years, 47,250, and for 3 years, 56,250, and for 4 years, it will be 65,250. And use my code, that is Muskan10. All right. So हम लोग स्टार्ट करेंगे, क्या स्टार्ट करेंगे आज? स्टैफ, ठीक है. सो विल स्टार्ट विद द स्टेफाइलोकोकस. Now, the first thing that I will say that staph, when we talk about the staphylococcus, what is the first thing that comes to your mind is what? It is a positive, gram positive cocci. But there are some examples that are what? Although all cocci are gram positive, but there are some exceptions to it that they are not gram positive. That is, one is the Neisseria. Okay, and what was the trick that we use for Neisseria? That was the Naziria. That is the media that we use, the transport media as Neisseria, Ames media, and the Stewart's media that were using the transport media. This is how we learned in the culture medias. Next is the Legionella, and इसका specific क्या है? That is aerosol transmission through the AC. अगर क्वेश्चन में दे रखा है हिस्ट्री ऑफ इम्प्लांटेशन ऑफ द AC या पोर वेंटिलेशन समथिंग लाइक दैट, इट इज रिलेटेड विद द लीजमैना. ठीक है. एंड नेक्स्ट इज व्हाट? द Moraxella. These are the few of the examination. Okay, so now when we talk about the classification of the gram positive, we talk about the micrococci and the streptococcus. In the streptococcus, we'll read about the pneumococcus, enterococcus, and the streptococcus itself. And in the micrococci family, it is the micrococcus and the staphylococcus that we'll see. All right, and micrococcus or staphylococcus का आपने एक टेस्ट किया था, if you remember the leaves, this Hox-Levson's method, जिसमें अपन ऑक्सीडेशन देख रहे थे या फिर फर्मेंटेशन देख रहे थे. विच ऑफ द मेथड इज यूज्ड फॉर द ग्लूकोज मेटाबॉलिज्म. ठीक है. और अपन ने इसको कैसे याद किया था कि इफ इट इज ऑक्सीडेशन तो ओ आ रहा है बार बार, दैट इज द माइक्रोकोकस विल शो द यूज ऑफ द ग्लूकोज मेटाबॉलिज्म थ्रू द ऑक्सीडेशन. ऑल राइट. एंड थ्रू द फर्मेंटेशन इट इज फ आ रहा है. तो और स्टेफाइलोकोकस कैसे होता है? Phylococcus, that is for that is fermentation. This is how we used the trick to remember it. All right, अब अपन बात करते हैं the topic that is relevant for today's class, that will read about the staph. Now, that is staphylococcus. ठीक है. Very first important point is that they are pinhead size. They are pinhead size. There is a difference between the pinhead size and pin tip size. So when it is asked about the pinhead size, then we are talking about the staphylococcus, and with this pin tip size, then we are talking about the streptococcus. ठीक है. So they are the pinhead size gram positive cocci that are what? Non-motile. All right, so these are the basic points that we already know. Just remember that they are pinhead size. Again a question it is, that is they are pinhead size, and they staph का मतलब होता है गुच्छा, that is cluster. So they are arranged in cluster of grapes. ठीक है. So they are arranged in what? Clusters or in grapes form. ठीक है. So this is about the staph, some basic. Now, when we talk about the staphylococcus, the toxins and the enzymes are very important for the staph because they are mainly responsible for the virulence factor of the staphylococcus. That is, when we talk about the virulence factor, ठीक है. Now, that is first is what? The cell wall, क्योंकि ये ग्राम पॉजिटिव है. ठीक है. एंड वी नो कि ग्राम पॉजिटिव में सेल वॉल मोस्टली किसका बना होता है? पेप्टिडोग्लाइकेन. All right, that is a thick peptidoglycan layer. All right, that is a thick peptidoglycan which also shows the inflammatory reaction and the release of the cytokines and all. So they show what inflammatory reaction. इसके अलावा cell wall में, apart from the cell wall itself, the cell wall also contains a protein, that is the protein A, and A for A, that is it is what, anti-phagocytic and anti-complementary. ठीक है, so this is what the anti-phagocytic, also anti-complementary. And how to check the toxin, how to check the virulence factor of the staphylococcus with the help of the cell wall कि anti-complementary है ये. So we will use the test, that is the coagulation test. We will use the coagulation test, and what we will do is that कि जो एंटीबॉडी होगी, जो यहाँ पे FC फ्रेगमेंट और फैब फ्रेगमेंट है, फैब फ्रेगमेंट पे तो अपन एंटीजन यूज करेंगे, दैट इज द salmonella antigen we will use, that will get attached with what, the fab fragment. और FC fragment पे अपना क्या attach होगा, protein. All right, so what we'll see ki antigen is attached to what, the fab fragment of the antibody, and this FC fragment pe protein hua hai, and after that we'll see the reaction in the coagulation test. And this is basically used to find the coan strain 1 of Staphylococcus. All right, that is used to see the coan strain 1 for the Staphylococcus. Now, when we talk about the toxins, when we talk about the toxins of the Staphylococcus, we will talk about the hemolysin toxin. Okay, and it depends that it is whether alpha, beta, gamma or delta. Okay, so when we talk about the alpha toxin, when we talk about the alpha toxin, all right, so hemolysin का मतलब क्या, RBC को lyse करना, and what we are talking about mainly the human RBC and the sheep RBC. All right, so alpha toxin will lyse both sheep RBC and the human RBC, and it will show a phenomena that is called as what, the paradoxical activation. ठीक है, paradoxical activation, that means what, कि the toxin is inactivated at 70 but is what the activated at 100 degree Celsius. This is the paradoxical activation, that is 70 it gets inactivated, and 100 it gets activated. All right, so this is known as the paradoxical activation, and both the sheep RBC and the human RBC will be lysed. Now, when we talk about the beta hemolysin, when we talk about the beta hemolysis, that it will lyse only the RBC of sheep. Why? Because sheep has S4S, that is the sphingomyelin, and beta hemolysin is nothing but sphingomyelinase. Beta hemolysis is nothing but sphingomyelinase, and it will degrade the sphingomyelin that is present in the sheep RBCs, that is a beta hemolysin, and it will also show a phenomena, that is the hot and cold phenomena. That is hot से H से, that is hemolysin will occur at hot temperature. ठीक है, H से H, that is hemolysin will occur at hot temperature, and hemolysin will increase on cooling. ठीक है, just remember one thing, that hot and cold phenomena for beta hemolysin, that H or H, that the hemolysin will occur at hot temperature. So this is what the beta hemolysin. Now when we talk about the gamma hemolysin and the delta, so they will also lyse both the sheep RBC and the human RBCs. It was only the beta hemolysin that was only lysing the RBCs of the sheep but not human, due to the presence of the sphingomyelin present in the membrane cell wall of the sheep RBCs in a greater amount. Although human also have, but it is in less amount, so that is not important to remember. नाउ अभी तक अपने किसकी बात की, सेल वॉल की बात कर ली, अपन टॉक्सिन, अपन हीमोलाइसिन की बात कर चुके हैं. एंड द नेक्स्ट विल टॉक अबाउट इज व्हाट द पेंटोन वेलेटाइन टॉक्सिन. पेंटोन वेलेटाइन टॉक्सिन और ल्यूकोसाइडिन और सिनर्जोहाइमेनोट्रोपिक टॉक्सिन. That is, we are talking about the PV toxin, leukocidin. Now it is P4P, that is, it is what a phage mediated toxin. Okay, and we also had a list of phage mediated toxin. We'll cover that again when we'll talk about the mnemonics. So it is what? It is a phage mediated toxin, that is P4P. Now next toxin is what? The एपिडर्मोलाइटिक टॉक्सिन. एपिडर्मिस की बात करें तो अपन स्किन की बात कर रहे हैं, तो इसको अपन एक्सोफोलिएटिव टॉक्सिन भी कह सकते हैं. एक्सोफोलिएटिव टॉक्सिन भी कह सकते हैं. दैट इज बिकॉज फॉर द स्टेफेलोस्केल्डेड स्किन सिंड्रोम. ठीक है, टेन सिंड्रोम causing the epidermolysis, this epidermic necrosis. And next is the Ritter's syndrome. Okay, so causing what? The epidermolysin toxin, TEN syndrome and the Ritter's syndrome. Now when we talk about the exfoliative toxin, exfoliative toxin or the epidermolytic toxin, right? So these are also two types, that is chromosomal mediated or the phage mediated. ठीक है, and they are what known as ENA and ENB. ठीक है, B से भी, that is the B, can remember this is how B, so this is how P, that is the plasma mediated, and they will lyse the desmorin 1, that is the desmosomal protein, and they are important for the connection in the epidermis, for the linkage and bridging of the cells that is in the epidermis. So this will what? This will bind to receptors that are present in which layer? Stratum granulosum, that is present where? In the stratum granulosum. That is B से P, that is the phage mediated. Next is what? The chromosomal mediated, and bind to receptors that are present in the stratum granulosum will cause what? This will cause the blistering, and therefore will cause the SSTEN and the Ritter's syndrome. All right. Now moving next. So we talked about the PV toxin, pantone velatine toxin, and we talked about the epidermolysin toxin and the exfoliative toxin. Now the next toxin is what? The enterotoxin. नाम से पता चल रहा है, we are talking about the enteric system. We are talking about the food poisoning. So this will cause what? The food poisoning. And what is important here to remember is that the incubation period, again, this is also this year's question again. So this is important. That is the enterotoxin that is we are talking about, and will cause the food poisoning. That is incubation period about 1 to 6 hours, and another bacteria that is having the same incubation period. That one is the Staphylococcus, and the another is was a Bacillus cereus. But one is the history is important, that after eating the pastry or the contaminated milk or the poultry products or any meat. ठीक है. And Bacillus cereus, C4C, that is what, C से C क्या होगा, Chinese fried rice. ठीक है. तो enterotoxin, that is we're talking about the fourth toxin of the staph that is causing the food poisoning. incubation period 1 से 6 घंटा है. Bacillus cereus का भी 1 से 6 घंटा incubation period है. And C4C, that is history is important, that patient has eaten the pastry or the milk or the poultry products, that is will indicate towards the Staphylococcus aureus. और अगर serious की बात करें तो Chinese food या Chinese fried rice. This is how the history of the person will come, and he will present with the food poisoning. Now Bacillus cereus ki jo food poisoning, it is also of two type. One is what, the vomiting or the emetic type, and another is the diarrheal type. But here the patient will present with the vomiting emetic type of food poisoning, and Staphylococcus aureus and Bacillus cereus presenting with the vomiting is due to the activation of which nerve, that is the वेगस नर्व स्टिमुलेशन. और जहां पे वेगस नर्व स्टिमुलेट हुई वहां पे क्या होगा, वॉमिटिंग सेंटर एक्टिवेट हो जाएगा, एंड पेशेंट विल प्रेजेंट विथ व्हाट, वॉमिटिंग एंड द गट प्रॉब्लम्स एंड द फूड पॉइजनिंग. ऑलराइट. ठीक है. अब ठीक है. Now when we talk about the types of the enterotoxin, the most common type is what, the type A. Please remember, it is the type A that is the most common type, and there is no F enterotoxin. क्योंकि the F enterotoxin is also known as the toxic shock syndrome toxin, that is a F type of toxin, because therefore it is not included in the types of the enterotoxin, and they are present from the subtypes from the A till I, but no F, and then R till T and the V. All right. So these are the type of the enterotoxin, and the food poisoning, the incubation period is important, and history of the patient that is having the food is important. Next is what, the TSST1. तो ये क्या है? Again important, toxic shock syndrome toxin. But what is the TSST1 that we need to remember, that it is what? It is an enterotoxin type F. And next important thing that we need to remember is that it is what? It is a super antigen. It is what? And super antigen. ठीक है. सो दिस इज व्हाट, अ सुपर एंटीजन. और जहां पे अपन बात करते हैं सुपर एंटीजन्स, वी रेड अबाउट द एग्जांपल दैट इट इज द स्टैफ. ठीक है. इट इज अ स्ट्रेप्टोकोकस, यार्सीनिया, ऑलराइट, माइकोप्लाज्मा. इसके अलावा HIV, EBV, CMV, rabies, and the Malassezia fur. So these are the typical examples of the super antigens, and we cannot just forget these important examples of the super antigens. That, and also the TSST1 is also of two types, that is one is the menstrual type and another is the non-menstrual type. ठीक है. So one is what, the menstrual, and another is the non-menstrual type. ठीक है. Now when we talk about the menstrual type, what is the risk factors? The risk factors are the vaginal tampons, and a person will be presenting with the clinical feature of the rash, fever, inflammatory reactions, decreased BP, and what? Multiple organ failure. So it is actually a condition of emergency because it is a condition of shock. So it is an exam, it is a condition of what? Medical emergency. All right, and what is the drug of the choice that is given for the TSST1? That is a beta lactam antibodies. ठीक है, but the problem is that कि more than 80% of the population has developed the resistance to the beta lactam antibodies due to the presence of what? The beta lactamase by the bacteria, that is what? That is plasmid mediated. Although the drug is what? The beta lactam antibodies, but the bacteria have developed the resistance to the beta lactam antibodies due to what? Due to the formation of the beta lactamase enzyme, that is what? The plasmid mediated. Okay, and by the transduction, the transfer of the resistance is taking place. Now, when we talk about the enzymes, when we talk about the enzymes of the streptococcus, that we need to remember, that we have to remember are an important are the catalase positive, okay, coagulase positive, catalase positive, coagulase positive, thermonuclease positive, DNase positive, and what? Phosphatase positive. So catalase positive, DNA is positive, thermonuclease positive, and the DNA is positive. And the thermonucleus T, that is the T4T, that is the temperature stable, that is what? A heat stable. All right, that is the heat stable toxin. Now, when we talk we'll talk about these catalase positive. Now, what are the other examples of the catalase positive organism? Can be remembered by the mnemonic, that is space. That is space. What is that space? That is S for staph aureus, P for pseudomonas. All right, A for aspergillus, and enterobacter for E, and C for candida. So these are what? The catalase positive organisms. All right, these are what? The catalase positive organism. Now, when we talk about the catalase test, when we talk about the catalase test, now catalase is an enzyme which convert the H2O2 into H2 and O2. All right, so this is the enzyme that is converting the H2O2 into H2 and O2, and O2 will show bubbling in the water. Okay, so what we do is that we take a slide. In one side we inoculate the staph colony, and the side we take a control, that is the coagulase negative, and we drop the water. We will see the bubbling in one side, that is indicating what? Catalase positive test, which is present in the space organism. All right, so this is the catalase positive. Now, when we talk about the clinical features, that will also read in the detail about the clinical features of the organisms. ठीक है, when we talk about the clinical features of the organism, we can remember by the mnemonic, that is the soft pains. ठीक है, so that is the soft pains, that is the, you can easily check out the mnemonics whenever you don't feel like it's hard to learn something. Just check out the mnemonic on the Google. Google is full of so many mnemonics that will help you to the learn the topic in a much better way. All right, that is the soft pains. That is the S for soft tissue infection causing what? The impetigo. Most common is the folliculitis. All right, most common is the folliculitis. O for osteomyelitis. F for food poisoning. F for food poisoning. That is incubation period is what? 1 to 6 hours. All right, and T for TSS. T is toxic shock syndrome, and the TEN. All right, P for pneumonia, and what is the most common presentation is the pneumatocele pneumonia, and that is the pneumatocele. A for acute endocarditis, ठीक है, and I for infective arthritis, and for N for necrotizing fasciitis, and S for sepsis. So easy. Soft pains are the clinical representation of the organism, that is a soft tissue impetigo, folliculitis, osteomyelitis, food poisoning, and TSS, TEN, pneumonia with the pneumatocele, most common, acute endocarditis, infective arthritis, necrotizing fasciitis, and the sepsis. All right. Now, when we talk about the acute endocarditis, we should remember that if it is IV, due to IV, if it is left side, we have already seen, or the right side is due to the Staphylococcus aureus, and the left side is due to the Enterococcus. And overall, if asked, the organism that is responsible is what? The Staph aureus. But if it is asked that within 12 months, then of the prostatic valve, then it is what? The Staph epididymis, and after 1 year it will be about Streptococcus viridans. It is the Staph viridans. All right, now coming to the microscopy, coming to the diagnosis and the culture. Now on the microscopy, we already know it is a gram positive cocci, with grape-like clusters that are non-motile. All right. Next, when we see the culture that we see on the blood agar, we see the narrow zone of mainly beta hemolysis. Narrow zone of the beta hemolysis, and blood agar is what? An enriched media. Therefore, we are making it rich by addition of the 5 to 10% of what? The sheep blood, that is the blood agar. Now, what is the next measure that we use is what? The nutrient agar. And nutrient agar is made up of what? Nutrient broth plus agar. All right. And what is the agar concentration that we use in any media is 1 to 2% in the culture media, and for the semi-solid is 0.5%. And to inhibit the motility of the protease, the swarming motility, we use up to 6%. Nutrient agar, it will show what? The golden yellow or straw yellow or oil paint color. ठीक है, and it is due to presence of the pigment that is the stephylozanthin, which is what? Which is a beta carotene pigment, and it is what? It is non diffusible non-diffusible pigment, that is only the colonies will appear as golden yellow or the straw yellow, and the pigment will not diffuse to the medium, that is the golden yellow, straw yellow or the oil paint color. All right, the pigment is produced best at 22 degrees Celsius, and that too under aerobic condition, that too under aerobic condition, and the pigment is what? The non-diffusible pigment. All right, why? What is the example of the diffusible pigment that we see? Where in the pseudomonas we see the pyocyanin, pyorubin, pyoviridin pigments. And what is the pyocyanin? Will give the blue color. We remember pyocyanin मतलब कोई इंसान cyanide खा के मर गया, pale blue. This is how we remembered. Pyorubin, that is showing what? The red color, and pyoviridin, that is showing the yellow color. Okay, now these were about the medias that we were seeing for the first we saw about the enriched media, and we saw the nutrient agar media, the blood agar media. All right, now we'll see about the selective medias. Okay, now the first selective media is what? The Ludeland's media. Selective media क्या होता है? We read about it कि SAS, that is they are what? Solid in nature, and the inhibiting substance are added to it so that it favors the growth of only the required media bacteria that we require. Now one is the Ludeland media. It is a selective media. Along with it, it is also a differential media. It is what? A selective media as a differential media. And we read ki wherever the differential media we read about, it will always have the indicator. And what is the indicator here? It is the phenol red is the indicator. All right, the second media is the salt milk agar, and the salt is what? Favorable for the growth of the staph. All right, and another is the mannitol salt agar, mannitol salt agar, and this is also a selective media. Sorry, this was for the mannitol salt agar, that is selective media as well as the differential media, and the phenol red is what? The indicator for the MSA, and the color we change to yellow. Okay, due to mannitol fermentation, and mannitol fermentation will be shown by what? Staph aureus, that is the staph aureus. Also the mannitol fermentation is also shown by the staph epidermis, but staph epidermis is coagulase negative, positive coagulase negative mannitol fermentive organism. All right, that we'll see later, just don't get confused. अभी तो हमको पूरी theory पढ़नी, so it is easy. Alright, so अपने selective media की बात कर ली. Now the test we read about is one, the catalase test. Mnemonic we saw for the catalase positive test is what? The space. Second test that we'll see is what? Okay, and the second test that we will talk about is what the coagulase test. We will talk about the coagulase test. That will talk about the coagulase test. And what will coagulase enzyme will do? This will convert the fibrinogen to that of the fibrin. This will convert the fibrinogen to fibrin. All right. And fibrinogen is something that is formed in the coagulation, and the coagulase will break down the fibrinogen to that of the fibrin. Now, when we talk about the coagulase test, it is basically of two type. One is the slide or the bound. Another is what the free or the tube coagulase test. When we talk about the slide or the bound coagulase test, ठीक है, ये अपने slide ली. On the one side we took the staph colonies. On one side we have to take the staph colonies only, and we add the plasma. प्लाज्मा में क्या होता है अपने पास फाइब्रिनोजन. और जब उन्होंने स्टाफ ऐड कर दिया, तो जब उन्होंने स्टाफ ऐड कर दिया, व्हाट विल हैपन कि दिस स्टाफ coagulase will convert the fibrinogen to that of the fibrin, and the clumps will be seen. ठीक है. All right, so this is we do for the slide coagulation test and for the tube or the free. Now we remember कि slide को अपन bound coagulase बोलते हैं. So you can remember कि slide पे चिपक गया, ठीक है, staph, तो that is bound coagulase test, just to remember, है ना. Tube or the free coagulase test, that is what it will also convert the fibrinogen to that of the fibrin. But what is the change is that कि coagulase here will form the CRF, that is the coagulase reacting factor. All right, and this will convert the fibrinogen to that of the fibrin. Now both the tests are positive in the staph aureus, and they also show the mannitol fermentation. इसके अलावा staph intermedius, और इसके अलावा staph Hycus. ठीक है, so that is the staph Hycus, staph intermedius, and the staph aureus that was showing both the slide or the bound and the tube or the coagulase test. Now coming to the next is what the slide or the only the slide or the bound coagulase test. It's shown positive by the Hugdunensis. You can easily remember that is bound coagulase test. The slide coagulase test is shown by the Hugdunensis, that is the Dunensis, that is N is coming. So here Dunensis is easy to remember in that way. And another is the free or the tube coagulase test is shown by the Schleiff-Ferry. That is fairy matlab pari, and fairy will fly free. So free or tube coagulase test. All right. Other than this, we also do the phage typing, and we for the 80 to 81 strains, we basically do we do the phage typing by the for the 80 and 81 strains. Now, this we have seen when we talked about the coagulase positive, we talked about the coagulase positive organisms. Now we'll talk about the this coagulase negative organisms. ठीक है, so these are what the staph epididymis, and the next is what the saprophyticus. These two are what? These two are the coagulase negative, but we also have to remember that it is novobiocin sensitive and it is resistance. So we tend to get confused between the epididymis and the saprophytes. So one method to remember is that saprophytes is having R for initially. Okay. Other than this is to remember by the mnemonic that is no stress. That is novobicin, and it is what sensitive to what that of the epididymis, epidermis, and resistance toward the saprophyticus. All right. This is one method, and another thing is that the saprophytes mainly causes the urinary tract infection, that it causes what the urinary tract infection. But what is the most common organism for the urinary tract is what the E. coli, and then the saprophyticus, staph saprophyticus, and it will cause the honeymoon cystitis. Honeymoon cystitis. All right. While staph epididymis that we saw, so saprophyticus is initially R is coming, so it is resistance to that of the novobicin. Other than this, the saprophyticus will cause the UTI, but what is the most common organism that is causing the UTI is the E. coli. So E. coli, then saprophyticus will cause the honeymoon cystitis, and epidermis will actually cause the infective endocarditis that we saw, that is the in the prostatic valve. Alright, that is we saw about the prostatic valve, that if it is before 1 year, then the staph epidermis will cause the infective endocarditis, and after 1 year, it's a streptococcus viridans will cause. Alright, other than this, the catheter related hospital acquired infections. Now, this is the basic of the staph that we talked until now. So now some extra points that we need to remember is that for the Staphylococcus aureus, that is the staph aureus, is what both DNA is positive as well as the urea is positive, and we checked out the mnemonic for the urea is positive, that was the punch case. All right, and also it on the McConkey agar, although on the McConkey agar they are for the gram negative bacilli to see the lactose fermentation, but Staphylococcus aureus will show tiny lactose fermenting colonies we can see on the McConkey agar, that is a tiny lactose fermenting colonies. Okay, although McConkey agar is selective for the gram negative, but Staphylococcus aureus will show the tiny lactose fermenting colonies. All right, and what is the most common disease that is caused by the staph that we saw is what the folliculitis. Just we read about that, and we will also read about other than the bone disease that was osteomyelitis, and other than this the soft and the skin tissues that was causing the boil and furuncle carbuncle, and that we need to remember is the bullous impetigo or potrichomycosis. And when we talk about the respiratory tract infection, we talked about the pneumonia, and the pneumonia, that is what is the most common, that is what the pneumococcal. All right, अब एक चीज होती है मेथिसिलिन रेजिस्टेंस स्टेफाइल MRSA, that is methicillin resistant staphylococcus aureus, and these are what the MRSA. One thing about MRSA is that they are basically of two type. One is the community acquired, and another is what the hospital acquired. ठीक है, and most of they are what 90% are what the community acquired MRSA, and MRSA is what chromosomal mediated resistance, and it basically occurs after the use of the methicillin in the concentration more than or equal to 8 microgram per milliliter, or oxacillin half of it, that is the 4 microgram or equal to 4 microgram per milliliter. Okay, so that is a chromosomal mediated resistance, and in continuous use of methicillin more than 8 microgram per milliliter or 4 microgram per milliliter for the oxacillin. And what is the gene? Another question, that what is the gene that is responsible for the MRSA resistance that has occurred is due to the MAC-A gene. All right, and this MAC-A gene will encode for PBP alteration, that is a penicillin binding protein, and therefore they will not bind with the antibiotic and will acquire a resistance. Okay. Now, what is the method to detect the MRSA? Now, it is the PCR and the MIC disk diffusion test. इसके अलावा we can also use the latex agglutination test. But what we need to remember here is that कि PCR is the most sensitive for the detection of, and it is the latex agglutination that is the least, because the PCR we can detect within 3 minutes. All right. Now, then what we can give the drug of choice for the MRSA, that is vancomycin, vancomycin, डेप्टोमाइसिन. ठीक है, वेंकोमाइसिन, डेप्टोमाइसिन, लिनेजोलिड, फ्लोरोक्विनोज, and what the fifth generation, cephalosporin. All right, that is the ceftobiprole that we can give for the MRSA, and PCR is the most sensitive. Vancomycin, daptomycin. So this is again, this is what, this is an AIMS previously asked question. All right. Now, moving next, we have talked about the coagulase negative. Okay, now when we are talking about the coagulase negative, we saw that mannitol fermentation was shown by what? It was shown by the Staph aureus, but इसके अलावा coagulase negative Staph epididymis also shows what the this mannitol fermentation, but Staph saprophyticus will not show. All right. सो वी आर डन विद द स्टेफाइलोकोकस. हमने जो जो इम्पोर्टेंट चीजें थी वी रेड अबाउट इट, आई रोट अबाउट इट, एंड नाउ विल रीड अबाउट द theoretical part that is important about the staph from the standard book. We'll read it out now. All right. So starting with the introduction, so those students who had just appeared into the class, the 50-minute session has been already done. In that the staff has been covered. Now the revision session has started covering the theoretical part from the standard books to cover both the aspects of the topic. Now introduction, gram, they are gram positive, and I already told you there are two families of the gram positive. One is the micrococcus and the streptococcus, and micrococcus will have what? The micrococcus family, micrococcus will have micrococcus as well as the streptococcus, the staphylococcus. All right, and the micrococcus are the commensals that are usually not associated with the human infections. Staphylococcus is what? They are arranged in the clusters. They are arranged in the clusters. Now, Staph aureus is the most pathogenic species. It produces an enzyme, that is the coagulase, which forms the basis of the coagulase test, and other species that do not produce the coagulase are called the coagulase negative. And what were the examples of the coagulase negative that we saw is what? The Staphylococcus epididymis, saprophyticus. All right, they are rarely pathogenic to man but may cause infection in the immunocompromised situations. That is, the cons are rarely pathogenic and they may cause the infection in the patient on the steroid therapy or on the immunocompromised situation. Now, coming to the history, can I just take a 1 minute break to go to the washroom? Just we'll be back. Okay, so where were we? We were at the history of the Staphylococcus, that they was named after the Greek word that is meaning the bunch of the grape or the clusters, and the coccus means what? The berry shaped. All right, and they are based on the characteristic golden yellow pigmentation due to the staphyloxanthin pigment, that is a beta carotene pigment, and that will give the yellow color to the colonies. All right, on the nutrient agar. So this was it we read about. Now coming to the next thing is the Staphylococcus aureus infection. Now it is catalase positive, coagulase positive, ठीक है, non-sporing, non-motile, and they are spherical cocci about 1 micrometer in diameter that are arranged in the grape-like clusters, and this cell division is in the multiple planes. It produces the again a golden yellow colonies and beta hemolytic colonies. Again, important question on the blood agar. It is most virulent species amongst the Staphylococci family. Now, they produce infection which ranges from localized pyogenic to the life-threatening systemic infections, that is including the toxic shock syndrome, and it is importance to human pathogen is greatly enhanced, especially in the hospital because of its ability to develop the drug resistance. All right. Now coming to the virulence factor, the cell wall associated factors is that we read about the cell wall factors, that is cell wall is having the thick peptidoglycan, thick peptidoglycan that is having the inflammatory reactions along with the protein A that is anti-phagocytic and the anti-complementary, राइट. सो दे आर ग्राम पॉजिटिव, तो उनके पास क्या होगा, थिक पेप्टिडोग्लाइकन लेयर, एंड दे विल आल्सो हैव द टिकोइक एसिड along with that the protein A factors. All right, and it confirms what the rigidity to the cell, and it induces the inflammatory response and will have what the endotoxin like activity, that is having what an endotoxin like activity. All right, now moving next, what are the cell wall associated factors? That is cell wall associated factors are what? One is the peptidoglycan, all right, and the ticoic acid. Other than this, the cell surface adhesin and the protein A that is having the endotoxin like activity. All right, now moving next is the ठीक है. Moving next is the toxic membrane, that is alpha, beta, and the gamma and the delta hemolysin we'll talk about. Next, we read about the pentonvillotine toxin, epidermolytic toxin, and the enterotoxin. Extracellular enzymes we've already seen: thermonuclease, deoxyribonuclease, coagulase, staphylokinase. All these are the extracellular toxin. All right. Now, ticoic acid. Okay. Now we'll talk about the ticoic acid. That is, we know that it is a polymer, and the ticoic acid, we already read about the important factors and the valence factors for that was staphylococcus in the initially to the class, and now we'll see the ticoic acid. We know that ticoic acid is actually what, a polymer of the ribitol polymers, ribitol phosphate polymers, and they also confirms the rigidity to the cell wall of the bacteria, and the cell wall is what, the peptidoglycan layer that is showing the inflammatory reactions along with the peptide, this protein A that is having the endotoxin like activity. Next is a cell surface adhesions, and that is what talk about the clumping factor or the coagulase factor, because they are what the coagulase positive. Is a slide coagulase test we do or the bound tube coagulase test we do. All right. Next is the protein A, that is protein A is mainly which in which strain it is present. It is especially in the covan 1 strain, and therefore to check out the protein A we see the coagulation test. ठीक है, and we use the cell monena antigen to bind with the Fab fragment, and FC fragment पे protein A bind कर जाएगा, and we'll see the reaction to see the covan 1 strain. ठीक है, now mediates the coagulation reactions, that is the protein A will bind with the FC, क्योंकि हमने पढ़ा था एंटीजन को छोड़ के कोई और चीज जहां भी जुड़ेगी एंटीबॉडी के, वो हमेशा FC रीजन पे ही जुड़ेगी, that is FC region of any IgG, leaving the Fab region free which binds to the antigen. The test is no more used now. Next, microcapsule. ठीक है, microcapsule is also present, that is some strains have the polysaccharide microcapsule, this which inhibits the phagocytosis, all right, that is we are talking about the microcapsule is also one of the important virulence factor. Now toxin, now one is the membrane active toxins, that is what is the membrane active toxin, that is one is we'll talk about the hemolysin, and hemolysin mein that is alpha, beta, gamma and the delta hemolysin, they are membrane damaging toxin and they act on the membrane of the RBC leading toward the hemolysin. Alright, and they are reacting such as dermonecrotic, cytotoxic, neurotoxic as well as the leukocytic, that is they are what LDL, that's they are leukocytic, this they are dermonecrotic, leukocidal, and the LDC that is a cytotoxic. Now when we talk about the leukocytins or the pantone valentine toxin, this is also known as the pantone valentine toxin, named after its discoverer, and it acts along with the gamma hemolysin to damage the RBCs and other cells. That is the pantone valentine toxin is actually P4P हमने याद किया था कि that it is what a phage mediated toxin. This is how we remember that P से P, that it is a phage mediated toxin and it acts along with the gamma toxin, that is a gamma hemolysin, and it is therefore it is known as what the synergohymenotropic toxin for the same reason. Okay, that is the for it acts along with the gamma hemolysin and PB toxin, they are called the synergohymenotropic toxin. Synergo means they are acting synergistically because they are not active individually but in combination they are capable of hemolytic and the leukocidal activity. Now, PV toxin is expressed on the MRSA strains which are associated in the community. What is MRSA? We read about its detail just 5 minutes ago. So now next is the epidermolytic or exfoliative toxin. That is, we are talking about the epidermis. We are talking about the skin. All right, that is, and we talked about two types of toxin. That is the ETA and ETB, and B is similar to that of P. ठीक है, that is what a plasmid mediated toxin, जबकि next वाला is what a chromosomal mediated toxin. Alright, that is we are talking about the epidermolytic or exfoliative toxin. Now it often occurs in the pneumonia. What are the disease that were actually causing? क्योंकि ये क्या कर रहा था, ये जो डेस्मोसोमल प्रोटीन्स होते हैं वहां पे जाके इसके रिसेप्टर्स होते हैं, वहां पे जाके बाइंड हो जाता है and it will damage the epidermis leading toward the blistering. ठीक है, and this will bind to these receptors causing what the cephaloscalar syndrome and the Ritter's disease in the neonates. Alright, so it causes two type of proteins, that is ETA and ETB, and B होता है P जैसा, तो that is the plasma mediated and it often occurs in the newborn and the children. Illness may vary from the localized tender blister to that of the bulle formation and to exfoliant separation of the outer, leaving the denudated underlying skin. This is known as the Nikolsky's sign. Nikolsky's sign. All right. The mucous membrane are usually spared. Severe form of in the newborn is known as the Ritter syndrome, that is having the fever, lethargy, and irritability. And the milder forms will cause the pemphigus and the bullous impetigo. So this is also an important question, that is bullous impetigo. Now we'll talk about the enterotoxin. ठीक है. So enterotoxin is also expressed in 50% of the strains, and it is preformed toxin that is responsible to cause what the food poisoning, and what is the incubation period is about 1 to 6 hours, similar to that of the Bacillus cereus. All right, and it has around, it can be typed up to what 15 serotypes. And type A is what the most common type A, while F is not discussed here because F belongs to the toxic shock syndrome toxin. All right, now moving next. तो हम जब बात करते हैं टॉक्सिक शॉक सिंड्रोम की, that is when we talk about the toxic shock syndrome, we know that TSST is actually a super antigens, and super antigens directly activate the B cells, resulting to the polyclonal activation of the B cells, that is to the direct activation of the T cells, because they act as a bridge between the MHC class 2 of APCs and the this T cells, and directly activate जाएंगे B cells, therefore resulting into a shock like condition. It is a medical emergencies, right? So T is actually staphylococcal enterotoxin. And what are the risk factors? The risk factor is that it is of two types. One is the menstrual and the non-menstrual. Menstrual is due to the use of the vaginal tampons, right? And it is reported both in the men and the women. In the non-menstrual woman is a complication of the abscess, osteomyelitis, post-surgical wound injuries. Now, what is the pathogenesis is that TSST1 is actually absorbed into the circulation from the tampons, and that being a super antigen will directly activate what the T cell, which leads to the polyclonal activation of the B cell and will lead toward the hypergammaglobulinemia. All right, and this will lead to what a cytokine storm. ठीक है, that will lead to what a cytokine storm. Now, what are the clinical features? Clinical features similar to that of shock will occur. Patient will present with the hyperemia of the conjunctiva with vomiting, diarrhea, confusion state, myalgia, abdominal pain with GIT, and the nervous system involvement will also takes place. All right. Now, moving next. Case definition, that is clinical criteria. What are the clinical criteria of a TSST1? That is a fever, rash, and the desecration hypotension. That is more than 3 involvement plus laboratory criteria. Anti-TSST antibodies will appear into that of the convalescent state, where they are protective. Diagnosis can be done by the latex agglutination test and the enzyme immunoassay. PCR techniques also available. All right. So now next is the toxin called as the capillary leak, causes the capillary leak, aggressive the parenteral fluid replacement and the vasopressor. Examine for the removed by the foreign bodies. Example is the vaginal tampons. All right, clindamycin is the preferred drug for the TSS as it reduces the toxin synthesis. So we actually give for the clindamycin. It is also given with the penicillin. ठीक है, for MSSA और vancomycin for the MRSA. If it is methicillin sensitive, clindamycin के साथ अपन को penicillin भी देनी है, and if it is resistant to that of the penicillin, then we have to give the vancomycin that we read about. For clindamycin resistant stage, linezolid is given as the drug of the choice. Although the drug of the choice is what the clindamycin. That is what the clindamycin. Now moving next is the extracellular enzyme. That one is the coagulase test, that it is secrete the enzyme, that is the coagulase enzyme, and in host when it comes in contact with the blood, it will what called the coagulation of the blood by activation of the prothrombin. ठीक है, and it will what actually convert what the fibrinogen to that of the fibrin, and the fibrin will surround the bacteria, therefore protecting. So what has happened कि prothrombin को activate करके fibrinogen को fibrin में convert कर देगा, and this fibrin will actually form a protective layer against the bacteria, therefore it is a virulence factor. All right, and for this we see the coagulase positive and the negative test, and we saw okay, what are the organisms that are coagulase positive and the coagulase negative: Staphylococcus epidermis and the Saprophyticus. What are the other enzyme? That is the thermonucleus and the DNase. And remember that thermonucleus is what temperature stable. That is what thermonucleus is what the thermostable, that is the heat stable, and the DNAs are enzymes that are specific to the Staph aureus only. So this was an important question, that thermonucleus and DNAs, they are actually positive, that are present in what the Staphylococcus aureus. ठीक है, now one is the staphylokinase, that is the fibrinolysin that we will talk about. This will break down the fibrin clots and may facilitate the spread of the infection. Another enzyme is the hyaluronidase. Now these are some other important enzymes: lipase, phospholipase enzyme, that are other important enzymes. Now coming to the colonization, Staphylococcus colonize on the various body surfaces and introduction into tissues. They are introduced to tissues as a result of the minor abrasion and the instrumentation. Invasion, that is Staphylococcus can invade into tissue by elaborating the enzymes, such as because they have the protease enzyme, hyaluronidase enzyme. So this will what happen ki this will break down the tissues and directly invade into the tissues. Now evasion of the host, that defense mechanism, they exhibit various immune evasions such as antiphagocytic activity that is shown by the protein A. So protein A is having the antiphagocytic activity and well as anti-complementary activity. Intracellular survival, that is they inside the endothelial cell, they may even survive and do the metastatic spread by the hematogenous spread. Now moving next is the clinical manifestation. Alright, Staphylococcus is a pluripotent pathogen that can cause various immunity infections to that of the range of the minor skin, soft tissues, and the bone infections. Now, one most common site of the colonization is what the anterior nares and that of the oropharynx. That is followed by the skin abrasion, and the rate of colonization is much higher in the insulin dependent diabetes, in the HIV patient, that is the opportunistic patients, in the hemodialysis patient, drug use patient. All right, and is a leading cause for the healthcare associated infections. Hospital strains are often multi drug resistance because they are MRSA, that is most we have seen. And what is the drug that we are given is what the vancomycin is the drug of choice for that of the MRSA. What is the most common skin and the soft tissue infection is that of the folliculitis. Okay, that is the infection of hair follicle. Infection of hair follicle, and it is characterized by the pus point surrounding, that is folliculitis, that is infection of the hair follicle with the pus surrounding by the erythema. Next is the boil, that is the painful pustule lesion in the hairy due to infection of the hair follicle. Okay, this is also a hair infection. Carbuncle, that is extending to deeper abscess, and the impetigo. इसके अलावा सर्जिकल साइट इन्फेक्शन, द मोस्ट कॉमन कॉज इट व्हाट, मोस्ट कॉमन कॉज फॉर द सर्जिकल साइट इन्फेक्शन इज व्हाट, Staphylococcus aureus. Now moving next. Now, when we talk about the cellulitis, inflammation of the skin and the subcutaneous tissue after wound or ulcer, hidradenitis suppurative, and the botro. This is also important. Please remember botromycosis because it is similar to that of the mycetoma-like condition, and it is having the discharge granules that will discharge from the site of the infection. So remember botromycosis, bullous impetigo, folliculitis most common. These are caused by the Staph aureus. This is important to remember. नेक्स्ट है मस्कुलोस्केलेटल इन्फेक्शंस में सेप्टिक आर्थराइटिस हो गया, ऑस्टियोमाइलाइटिस है ना, एंड ऑस्टियोमाइलाइटिस प्लीज रिमेंबर. इसके अलावा पायोमायोसाइटिस, प्लीज रिमेंबर द पायोमायोसाइटिस, दैट इज द skeletal muscle infection, and this is the abscess, and please remember it is a paronychia. Another is the paronychia. Now respiratory tract infections we need to remember is one is the pneumonia, and the most common in the pneumonia we need to remember is the pneumococcal. So we need to remember pneumococcal. All right. Other than this, a ventilator-associated pneumonia, septic emboli, post-viral empyema, pneumococcal. Now, pneumococcal in the neonates, what is the most common cause? This is the Staph aureus is the most common cause for the pneumococcal. All right. Now, next. Another is the bacterium, that sepsis and septic shock can take place as a central line associated bloodstream infection. That is a CLABSI, infective endocarditis we have already seen. It is from the left or right, and within 1 year staph epidermis, right? So what are the reasons for that? For the UTI, what is the most common that we read about was the saprophyticus. But what is the most common organism is the E. coli, that is infecting more than the saprophyticus, most common, and causing what the honeymoon cystitis. Okay, honeymoon cystitis. Toxin mediated illness, that is one is the TSST, food poisoning by the enterotoxin, and the triple S, that is also by what the exfoliated toxin. Now, infections associated with the community MRSA, that is one is a necrotizing pneumonia. Okay, whatever we are reading, we just have covered in the initial 40-50 minutes of the lecture. So thus, this is just the theoretical revision, nothing else. Nothing new will become now because we are done with the stuff. Now, sepsis with the Waterhouse-Friderichsen syndrome. These are the examples of the community-acquired MRSA and necrotizing fasciitis. That is the fasciitis by the Staph aureus and the pyogen. So this is the most common. Okay, this is the most common skin and the soft infection when we check out for the staph. It is the folliculitis. You can see a discharging pus at the point of the infection with the erythema surrounding around. All right, so this is what the staph and what is the diagnosis that we do, that in the microscopy they will appear as the gram positive cocci that are arranged in the clusters. And how do we culture? In the nutrient agar we do the culture, and in the nutrient agar what we saw golden yellow colonies or the golden yellow colonies or the oil paint colonies or the straw colored colonies. Straw yellow due to the presence of the staphyloxanthin, that is a beta carotene pigment that is activated at 22 degrees Celsius temperature under aerobic conditions. All right, culture smear microscopy, that is they are seeing what catalase positive, coagulase positive, and they are can be seen by the antimicrobial susceptibility test. When we talk about the laboratory diagnosis, sample collection depends upon the nature of the lesion. Common specimens are the pus, swabs, sputum. For the culture, we need blood culture automated bottles. For the food poisoning, we need the feces vomiters. For the carriers, nasal swabs are enough. Direct smear, we'll see the gram staining, or we'll see revise the pus cells with the gram positive cocci, and we'll see the image. Now next is the culture. We have already seen nutrient agar पे smooth convex opaque golden colored colonies होगी with non-diffusible pigments. Nutrient agar पे भी golden yellow colonies present, giving oil paint appearance, and the blood agar is the beta hemolysis. McConkey agar small, although they are gram positive, and McConkey agar used for the gram negative lactose fermentation, but they will show what the small lactose fermenting colonies, small lactose fermenting colonies. Now next is what the liquid media, that is the Peptone water we are using to see the uniform turbidity, because basic media can be used to see the bacterial culture. Selective media we have already seen that what is a selective media is an MSA. One is the MSA, another is the salt milk agar, and the Ludlam's media. Ludlam's, that is the Ludlam's media. Alright. Now, culture smear, we can see the on the hanging drop, we'll see the non-motile. All right, and the catalase test, we'll see the bubbling, and it is used to differentiate the gram positive coagulase positive staph to coagulase negative staph. This is the staph that is arranged in the grapes-like clusters. You can easily see. This is the mannitol salt agar, where you can see, this is a nutrient agar where you can see the golden yellow colored colonies, oil paint colonies, right? And this is the beta hemolysis, beta zone of the hemolysis. Tube coagulation test or the free coagulation test, right? Or this tube coagulation free coagulation test is seen by the staff slave ferry. And how we remember that ferry is free, pari free होती है, तो it is the free coagulation test or the tube coagulation test. And the positive test is indicated by what the formation of the clot, that is breakdown of the fibrinogen to that of the fibrin. All right, what is the slide coagulation test? ठीक है, what is the slide coagulation test is the same, and the positive result will also show the appearance of the clumps, and it is shown by the it is what the bound coagulation test, that is UNN is coming. So how we remember, it is seen in the Hugdunensis, the UNN, and both are positive in the Staph aureus, Staph intermedius, and the Staph hicus. This is the coagulase positive test, and you can see the bubbling due to the enzyme coagulase. All right, and what are the other examples of the coagulase positive remembered by the mnemonic? That is the space, that is the Staph aureus, Pseudomonas, Aspergillus, Candida, and the Enterobacter. This is again the Staph aureus, that is showing the tube coagulase test positive, while the epididymis is the coagulase negative, also the saprophyticus. All right. Now this is used to differentiate. We have seen the coagulase positive from the coagulase negative test. This is again the same, and this is an important image-based question. This is an important image based questions. Automation for Vitek and Melody of that is can be have used for the rapid and precise identification. Alright, and typing. Staph aureus is used to type at subspecies level, and it is specifically used in the outbreaks, that is in the epidemic. Okay, typings include both the phenotypic and the bacteriophagic typic with the help of the and genotypic such as the PCR and the restrictive fragment length polymorphism and the sequence based typing. Bacteriophage typing into subspecies level, they are mainly used. What only the single thing that we have to remember is that it is used for the typing of the 80 and 81. Phage type 80 and 81 is commonly associated with the outbreaks in the hospitals. That is the it is known as the epidemic strain of the Staph aureus. All right. Antimicrobial susceptibility test to see the resistance to that of the antibiotics, and for that we use one is the Muller-Hinton agar, that is the disc diffusion method, and the MIC. All right. Drug resistance, MRSA, we are talking about beta lactam antibodies. They were resistant, and we saw that they were resistant to that of the beta lactam antibodies due to production of what the beta lactamase. That is the production of what the beta lactamase. All right, and that was what the plasmid mediated. That was what the plasmid mediated. And what is the beta lactam antibodies were drug of the choice for what disease? Toxic shock syndrome. They were the drug of the choice, but due to the presence of the resistance now, it is due to the beta lactamase. That is a beta lactamase enzymes. They enzymes cleaves the beta lactam rings, and therefore the organism produce these enzymes that are resistant to the beta lactam antibodies. And it is what, again, an important question, that it is an plasmid mediated. We will just read out the list of the examples. Antibiotic resistance, that is what the plasmid mediated. Although the class is extended already more than the scheduled time, so we'll end it. We'll cover it in the next, and the most important things are already covered into the starting 40-50 minutes of the lecture. It is just a simple revision, and the session will soon end. The resistance can be overcome by the addition of the beta lactamase inhibitors that we already know from the pharma, that is the clavulanic acid or sulbactam. ठीक है, due to beta lactamase presence, beta lactam resistance, now the clavulanic acid is given along with it, and we use for the treatment of toxic shock syndrome. MRSA we talked about, that is a hospital acquired, and that is a community acquired. Community acquired is more common, and due to the presence of which gene we need to remember is due to the presence of what, the MAC-A gene, that will alter the PBP, that is a penicillin binding protein, and therefore causing the resistance. Okay. The altered PB2A has less affinity for the beta lactam antibodies. And what are the risk factors? That is the poor hygiene, close contact with the contaminated material. Prevalence is that is more and vary from place to place, and they are present 50% in that of the America. What is the detection we can do? What is a more sensitive method? That is the PCR. And what we detect is the gene, and which gene? That is a MAC-A gene. And what is the drug of the choice? That is a vancomycin. Other drugs are the daptomycin, fifth generation cephalosporin. Already we read about, and the linezolid that we were talking about. Okay, so this was about the MRSA. This is some important difference between the hospital acquired MRSA and the community acquired MRSA. And what is more common is what, the community acquired MRSA is more common. All right. That is a hospital acquired, community acquired MRSA is more common. Now, hospital-acquired MRSA is mainly in the elderly, where it is previously healthy patients and coming in the close contact is a community-acquired MRSA, and intensive care ICU patients will be hospital-acquired, mainly those who are having the impaired immunity and causing the wound infections and respiratory and UTI will cause the necrotizing pneumonia, septic shock, and more severe. Community-acquired MRSA will be more severe. What are the risk factors? We've seen the prolonged hospitalization and the long-term antibiotics. While it is the close contact and the poor hygiene is the main reason. It is mainly nosocomial transmission and it transmits within the families and the sports team. Typical UK clones that is present, no need to remember this, and prevalence is more common for that of the community acquired MRSA and it is more severe than that of the hospital acquired MRSA. Now, resistance to vancomycin has also seen. We saw that if there is resistance to that of the vancomycin, we'll give what linase on it. Now, the overuse of the vancomycin has led to the resistance to vancomycin, and the current guidelines consider alternative drug is used for the treatment. And Versa is very rare, just like MRSA. MRSA is very common, but Versa is very rare, and the minimum inhibitory concentration of vancomycin to this vancomycin resistant strain Staphylococcus aureus is 4 to 8 and more than 16 microgram per ml. This is not important to remember, but for the MRSA, it was important to remember that for methicillin is more than equal to 8 microgram per ml, and for the oxacillin, it is 4 microgram per ml. All right, what is the mechanism? It is just like MAC gene, it is mediated by the VAN-A gene. Okay, and it is believed to be acquired from the vancomycin strain Enterococcus faecalis by the horizontal, that is a transduction pathway. Now, this is very rare and it is also a fitness cost phenomena because acquisition of the VAN gene is often associated with compensated mutation in the genes responsible, so which results in a reduced fitness of the Staphylococcus aureus, also known as the fitness cost phenomena. That is, the fitness is costing the Staph aureus, that is, the resistance is costing the fitness of the Staph aureus. Now, screening of the MRSA is done, and the treatment we already talked about. The treatment of the carriers is done by use of the mupirocin and even the stoppage of the antibiotic misuse and ensure proper control. Now, when we talk about the epididymis, that we need to remember is that they are coagulase negative. Other than this, we need to remember is that for the prosthetic valves in less than 1 year, they were responsible for the infective endocarditis. Normally, they are not pathogenic. All right, the initial addition to the prosthetic device and to that of the catheters, that is a Foley's catheter. Colonization, they are extracellular polysaccharide material and that facilitate formation of the biofilm. Also remember, epididymis will also show the biofilm formation. All right, we have already seen, and now it is coagulase negative. Saprophyticals will cause UTI. What is the most common organism? E. coli, and it will cause the honeymoon cystitis. Okay, and Lugnidense and the Staphylococcus fairy will read about the coagulase test that was showing. Lugnidense was showing what the bound coagulase test. Fairy, that is the free coagulase or the slide coagulase test, and they may be due to the expression of the valence factors, that are clumping factors which are usually absent in the other coagulase negative, but they are present here. All right. This is a mnemonic, other mnemonic, and this is a urease positive mnemonic that we need to remember. That is the punch kiss, that is a protease, uroplasma nocardia, cryptococcus, helicobacter, klebsiella, saprophyticus, and the epididymis. They are what the urease positive. We need to remember this. This is again the clinical manifestation: boils, carbuncle, infection, paronychia. So, this was it for the today's session. I hope that everything was clear. In the starting of the 40-50 minutes, we actually completed the step. Rest of the lecture we were just revising. All right, so thank you for today's session. I hope it was clear, and next we'll cover the MCQs of the step that are important and the Streptococcus. Soon we'll cover about this. And watch my session today at the 9 p.m. on the YouTube, and like, share and subscribe, and all the best for studies, and be safe at home right now. So see you soon. Take care and bye bye.